what we have here, friends, is a bottom drain that is broken out right there. We'll try to zoom in, and this is kind of awkward where I'm at because I've got the tub already standing up. But you can see it even chipped out the edge of the shell there a little bit, so I'm going to have to do that repair. But to fix this, this is an Artesian tub. I'm going to have to pull the bottom off. So I am going to remove the bottom, and it's held on by roofing nails. Now, luckily for me, I have a roofing nail gun. Tick, 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 tick. For you, you're going to have to hand pull it, pull all the nails out, or even leave the nails in and try to put them back in the same holes. I don't know about that working, but for right now, I've got to pull it out, and there's also some wood damage around it that I'm going to repair as well. So let's get after it. Stay tuned. So what I use is just a standard nail puller, and you can start wherever you want to start, it doesn't really matter, and just slowly start pulling the nails. So I'm going to dig into this and just kind of chip the foam away and that kind of stuff. Get to the area. Try not to chip too much foam out of the way. Just be careful because you're going to have to put some of this back. The more you take out, the more you're going to have to put back. Basically, I'm cutting just enough to be able to access the bottom, access the pipe, and I'm going to cut the pipe back. And I will show you a technique in this particular case that we use to make a connection back to the pipe. So here I'm going to just clip it off, but you can see that I'm clipping it back a little ways. Now you'll do different things. On my website, on Hot Tub Parts for America, I offer a Rico kit. You can see that's busted out. There's different kinds of Rico kits. If it's 1/2-inch pipe, then you would glue to the outside of it with 3/4 clear. If it is 3/4 pipe, then there is a fitting that I have in a what I call a Rico kit or connect kit that would glue to the 3/4 and become a 3/4 barb. If it's 1-inch pipe, then there's a fitting that you would put on there, but you would have to have a 1-inch coupler. Usually it's going to be 1/2 or 3/4. Now I'm going to take a screwdriver and kind of clean this up, get all of the old silicone out of the way, and clean it up nice so it is ready to be sealed back up. This is not a hard repair other than having to stand the tub up and take the bottom off. The rest of it is pretty simple. Just clean this up, make sure it's nice and clean. We don't want any old silicone in the way, but you've also got to be careful that you don't chip. You can see that this one is damaged. It's actually chipped around where the acrylic is. You can see that little spot right there. Now we are going to get it all prepped and ready to go back in with the brand new one, which I do offer on the website as well. Click the links at the end of the video. So friends, what I'm going to do is load this up with silicone. Real good. You really can't put too much on here. The biggest thing is you want to make sure it's clean. And then don't have anything in there. So Tanya's going to hold this side for me. So what I want you to do, Tanya, is it's up in there, and that is close right there. Now you're going to have to hold it because I'm going to put some pressure on it. So on this side, you can go two different ways. You can either have the gasket on or the gasket off. In this particular case, because I'm having an issue on this particular one with the edge of the acrylic was broken right there, I'm going to do gasket off. So I'm going to put silicone around the face. Now it's going to squeeze out and it's going to make a little bit of a mess on this side, but I think I'll stand a better chance of it not leaking if I do that. And I'm also going to put some silicone here. Now this is unusual because normally your acrylic's not going to be broken where this is happening at, but in this case this acrylic is broken. So find a pair of pliers that will fit in the grates of it right there. Needle nose will work. Is it pretty flat, Tanya?
Yeah.
This was trying to screw in at an angle. Yeah, she's going in straight now. I'll tell you when I'm going to put some pressure on. And of course you got to be careful not to break these little fingers in here. That piece didn't stay in there, so I'm going to have to. All right, I'm getting ready to snug it down. You ready? Hello?
Yeah, what?
I'm snugging it. Are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right, that looks like it's got a pretty good seal. Now what I'm going to do is I'm not going to smear it on this side, because once it dries I'll be able to tear it off. Now I'm going to go to the other side and seal it some more. What I'm going to do is load this up with silicone back here and then just smear it. And then I'll put a piece of clear over this, glue it, slip it on, clamp there, clamp here, and it's done. In this particular case, the existing hose is 1/2 inch, which means it measures 3/4 outside, and the barb is 3/4, so 3/4 clear will slip over that and over the barb. All right, so it's a little bit of a challenge to get this on there. I've already got my clamps in place, and I've got the tubing here, and this is going to go over. The 1/2 inch is going to slide inside of the 3/4. This is going to go over. Now the way I'm going to make this happen is I don't want to put too much pressure on this fitting. I've glued it, it's dried, I've allowed it to dry. But the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to heat this with a heat gun. And the heat gun will make this very pliable. Now if it's really, really, really hot summer, you could probably get by without heating it. This is not a cold, we're about 60 today, but it's the end of the winter. But I want this thing super duper pliable, so it doesn't take much effort to slide it on either side. Then I'm going to glue both sides, and I'm going to slip this on. And the more I heat it, the more flexible it gets. You can see that. So I'm going to heat her up real good. I'm going to throw some glue on. And then we're going to, I may even do this kind of thing to get it started and then let it spread out. But the biggest thing is you don't want to put too much pressure on either side. All right, it's pretty pliable. So, and of course don't let your blue glue get to the heat. It will blow up. It's highly flammable. And you can see that my glue is kind of chilly because it's stringy. It doesn't hurt to warm your glue up a little bit, but don't warm it with the heater. All right, so what I'm going to do is this right here. I'm going to take it and bend it, and I'm going to slip it here and slip it there. There she goes. A boom and a boom. Take your, now if you didn't heat that, it wouldn't have gone like that. Take your clamp and slip it up on here. And of course we're going to turn it where it's not on the bottom of the tub. We'll turn it where it's up. So when you put water in the tub, there's no pressure on any of this stuff. You don't want the clamps down. Do something like that right there, and then put a little bit of pressure like that and push it around. And that is a completed repair right there. So friends, this thing right here is all sealed up, and I'm getting ready to put the bottom back on. But before I do that, I wanted to try to fill this up, and I don't have a whole lot of luck with this stuff, with these types of foam, but I'm going to try this type of foam just to see what it'll do. Because they've made some of them, the old stuff wouldn't expand enough to really make any difference. This new stuff seems to be a little better. Yeah, it's a lot better. That other stuff was only like a gap filler. You try to do this, you'd be here for 20 years trying to fill this thing back up. So we'll just let it harden. And what I'm trying to do is insulate it for one thing, because it's going to be on the bottom of the tub, and you don't want, I think this one actually froze is what busted it, which is unusual. But if this thing's on concrete, it probably would never bust, but if it's on a deck where it's exposed on the bottom, this part of it is very susceptible to freezing. So there you go. We'll just let that dry and see how she looks. So after your foam expands, it's going to expand out a little bit, and it's going to stick out beyond the bottom of the tub where it should be. What you'll do is take your sheetrock saw and just cut it off flat so it doesn't put any pressure. What you don't want is that sticking down where when you put it, you flip the tub back down, put water in it, it's putting up pressure on that. You want it to be even all the way across the whole tub. And you can see that it'll just cut right straight off, and you can just cut it off flat. Next, you will prepare the bottom, get all the old nails or staples out of the ABS, and get ready to put it back on. So there's a chore ahead, and that chore is on the bottom that I took off of that tub. You got all of these roofing nails. So you're going to have to go through and pull every one of these roofing nails out one by one to get this thing cleaned up. I mean, it's not that big a deal, but it's got to be done. It just takes a few minutes, but I'm not going to bore you with this. I'll turn the camera off and get it done, and then we'll staple the bottom on. And because the tub could still theoretically leak, I'm not going to staple the thing on like they did. I'm not going to put quite as many nails in it. I'll put it on the test stand, fill it up, make sure it runs, and then I will, once I know there's no leaks and everything, I'll stand it back up and finish stapling. All right, so I got the bottom drain in and everything, got it on the test stand. It's been on the stand for a few days, and I'm glad I didn't put the bottom on because it's still cold weather, so there's no condensation. The water's not moving, but I thought I had a leak in the middle, but what it is where the foam got so wet from the bottom drain being out that when I put water in it, it squeezed the water out, and it made it look like it was leaking in the middle, but you can see now it's dry. And if we come up here, the tub is hot, and it is full of water. So I'm gonna clean all this up, put her back together, and wash her, and put her in the showroom for sale. Yes, indeed I am. So we're going to put the bottom on, and the thing that I do is look at the direction that it originally came off in. And because this tub had some potential leak issues on the bottom, I'm not going to get crazy with putting all of the staples back in it, all the nails back in it, until I'm sure that it's fixed. So what I'm going to do is just put enough in it to hold it into place until I can water test it again. Now, if I was at your house doing this, it would be a different story. I would go ahead and put this back on permanently and just pray that it didn't leak. So I'm going to hold it up. And what I have is a roofing nailer. And you square here on your corner. Look at it. And let me go up on the ladder. Yeah. Like it. This looks good, but you're low over there. That, down just a hair. looks good to me. So that is the bottom completely put back on using roofing nails. Remember, in this particular repair, you'll need a bottom drain. You would need silicone, or the Professor's Silly Juice is what I call it. You would also need a connect kit based off of your old plumbing. All that stuff is in the links at the end of this video. Thank you for watching. Hot Tub Parts of America. I am the spa guy. I don't know much, but I do know hot tubs.